how marijuana is decriminalized in Oregon and nobody goes to jail for less than 27 grams. We don't ruin anyone's life for less than 27 grams. Yeah, 28 grams, we might ruin your life. But less than 27 grams, no big deal, right? Well, it is a big deal. It is a big deal. Even if you're living in a decrim state, even if you're living in a medical state, that doesn't go far enough because it does not address the marijuana market. So long as there is a demand for marijuana, there will always be a supplier willing to supply it at whatever cost and however many lives it takes to supply it. I've always felt that if the violence that's happening in Mexico over the past decade were happening in American cities, this drug war would have been over long, long ago. More than 60,000 people have been killed from 2006 to 2012. That's according to Human Rights Watch. And some estimates are as high as 80,000 people killed by 2014. There's some other facts you ought to know about this. There are 6,700 licensed firearm dealers in the U.S. along the U.S.-Mexico border. There is only one legal firearms retailer in Mexico. Nearly 70% of the guns recovered from Mexican criminal activity from 2007 to 2011 and traced by the U.S. government originated from sales in the United States. 90% of the cocaine that enters the U.S. transits through Mexico, which is also a major supplier of marijuana and methamphetamines in the United States. And the drug cartels take in between $19 and $29 billion annually from U.S. drug sales. And it's going to start with the legalization and regulation of marijuana markets before any of the rest of this can be addressed. It happens with even a vote for lowest law enforcement priority or public policy questions in your city. Check this video out for some more shocking displays of Mexican cartel violence. Number 5. The Durango massacres. The northwestern city of Durango endured an explosion of violence in 2011 when in that year alone over 340 bodies were discovered in mass graves scattered throughout the city. One single grave alone near an empty auto body shop contained 89 bodies. Number 4. The 2011 Monterey casino attack. In August of 2011, a group of 4 vehicles pulled up to the entranceway of Casino Royale in Nuevo Leon and opened fire with automatic weapons. Upon ceasing fire, the group dumped gallons of gasoline into the front of the building and set it on fire. The ensuing fire and panic inside resulted in 52 dead civilians, mostly women. The Los Zetas cartel claimed they were merely trying to intimidate the casino owners who had refused to pay cartel extortion money. Number 3. The Nuevo Laredo massacres. In mid-April 2012, 14 men who were presumed to be Los Zetas members were found chopped into pieces in a van, apparently on the orders of the Sinaloa cartel. And that wasn't all the Sinaloa cartel had planned to intimidate their rivals. A few weeks later, a further 23 bodies were discovered. Of the 23 people killed, 9 of their bodies were hanged from a bridge, to the utter horror of civilians of Nuevo Laredo. The other 14 corpses were found decapitated with their heads stuffed in ice coolers. Number 2. Hugo Hernandez murder. In 2010, then 26-year-old Hugo Hernandez was kidnapped from the city of Sonora. A week later, his body was found on the street in the northern city of Los Mochis. He had been chopped into 7 pieces. Hernandez's torso was found in a plastic container on the street, separate from the other box that contained his arms, legs, and skull. His face was skinned off his skull and stitched onto a soccer ball, an apparent threat to the Juarez drug cartel. And number 1. Shocking display of Mexican cartel violence. Jesus Ernesto Chavez Castillo. Castillo was a one-man death squad. He has murdered more than 800 people on behalf of Barrio Aztecas gang, the deadly enforcers of the Zetas. He even testified that he has killed more, but that he has lost count. Chavez went so far as to tell jurors that he often beheaded or dismembered his victims. That's what this drug war is about. 420 Radio, the home. A mom and grandma from No on Measure 91 explains why to vote yes on Measure 91.
I see what's happening with marijuana. The kids are telling me. They say within 5 minutes they can get marijuana. It's much easier than tobacco or alcohol to get into their hands.
Because drug dealers don't check ID. Vote yes on Measure 91. This advertisement produced by the Russ Belville Show and is not sponsored or endorsed by the Yes on Measure 91 campaign.
If you're an adult who enjoys a good beer, there's a similar product you might want to know about. One without all the calories and serious health problems. Less toxic so it doesn't cause hangovers or overdose deaths, and it's not linked to violence or reckless behavior. Marijuana. Less harmful than alcohol, and time to treat it that way. For more information, visit